who needs to hear this, but nigga, you's a bitch. Your father's a bitch. Your brother's a bitch. Keep acting like this and your son gon' be a bitch. Niggas think they use this, but they useless. Yeah, you know that head feel like I'm toothless. He wanna eat the cookie like Lucius. Spread my legs open like the Jordan logo. In the leopard skin bikini, got the kitty looking fat. He like, damn, what is that? He tell you so, a pretty cat. I got him talking like Tweety Bird and all that. He a trick Hermes Cartier, I want all that. Them hoes only want you cause of me, nigga. Them hoes only know you cause of me. The nigga playing me with some birds that worship me. I'm only 5 feet, but they all look up to me. You came up cause of me, don't you ever forget. The price went up when your dick cause I licked. Ladies, love yourself cause these niggas bitch. You see how we moving out here, we the new niggas. Quick to cut a nigga off if he ain't spending enough. I get a check about a nigga without doing too much. You see they all mad at me cause they ain't doing enough. Then they pockets mad bulimic, they ain't chewing enough. I'm out in Aspen on a snowmobile and Fendi lingerie. Pink baguettes around my neck, them bitches hitting like Javante. I don't got an ex, boy, you never existed. The only ex I miss is Earl Simmons. Now my heart cold, no feelings. Might fuck your dad like Lori Harvey cause he got a bigger bag. The only thing you broke niggas did for me is put me in a rich nigga's company. Floyd Mayweather, a better Elon Musk cheddar. You broke niggas could never, y'all gotta do better. Every time I close my eyes, all I see is dollar signs. You broke niggas will waste of time. Money made me so horny. Yeah, ladies, money made me so horny. Stop playing with us. Hey, yo, Megan, tell these fuckboys we'd rather play with our fuck toys. Fuck yeah.
Dear fuck nigga, still can't believe I used to fuck with you. Poppin' playing beats cause I ain't playing to be stuck with you. Damn, I see you still kick it with them op bitches. I'm the only reason that your goofy ass got bitches. All them hoes wanna look like me, bitch most likely. Holy fucking you just to spite me. But please don't get it twisted, I ain't tripping. I never put my faith in a nigga, bitch, I'm a die independent. If you was wondering, yeah boy, I'm still that bitch. I had to block you, but you still gotta watch this shit. Cause who the fuck rock it like me? No bra, tight tee, slick back, ponytail, feeling like I'm iced tea. You know I suck it good, real hood, real wake up. You know her head weak if she ain't fucking up her makeup. Damn, I can't believe I used to let you fuck me. I'd rather be in jail before I'm broke. Hey, up, ladies, love yourself, cause this shit could get ugly. That's why as fuck niggas get money. And I don't give a fuck if that nigga leave tonight, because nigga, that dick don't run me. You better get on your knees and eat this pussy right before I have another nigga do it for me. Because
Dick don't run me, I run dick, nigga. Y'all's a bitch.
Let's in my meeting. Let me say when I'm eating. So much money, this nigga dumb as she dumb and bitch, he got you. They hate us. Put that shit in their faces. I gotta help you and they keep them hoes in their places. Say some real shit. Like I'm baptized. I'm back. He had this water, then he's coming back. I'm coming back. How you wanna bitch? But don't wanna work. How you wanna bitch? I should've listened to my first mind. And told your ass time.
Girl, and that's how the remix sounds.
Can I be at work while you sleep? While you sleep, the most listen to you ever. You still can't believe I used to trust you. The only accolade you ever made is that I fuck you a bitch. You a bitch. Get the chance, I bet you snitch. You never get a chance to tell me come and get my shit. Please love yourself, cause this shit could get ugly. That's why as fuck niggas need money. And I don't give a fuck if that nigga leave tonight, because nigga, that nigga don't run me. You better get on your knees and eat this pussy right before I have another nigga do it for me. Don't run me. I'm crazy. You's a bitch.
Okay, first of all, I'm fucking glad that that's over. But I'm going to have to get into a little quick fucking review of this before we pop off on the main subject. So, girl, y'all already know what the hell we here to get into, girl. Y'all see what's in the title. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. It is your favorite breakdown commentator, along with my handy dandy sidekick, Reckless Logic Girl, bringing you news that you can motherfucking use or not. You guys already know to run up these goddamn thumbs up video, girl. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, girl, because we need the messaging to get out there into these streets so we can continue to build the kingdom. And speaking of building the kingdom, I want to shout out to all of the new subbies, girl. We done gained 600 subscribers in less than 3 days, girl. I ain't even been back home, and no need to call it a comeback, bitch. It's the jump off. So welcome to all of the new Conscious Crew members, and thank you to all of the former members of the nation, girl, because it's because you guys sharing and liking and spreading the news and tagging and posting me everywhere that is drawing attention to what we're doing here. So I really, really, really appreciate and love you guys. So shout out to the 35K, girl. I woke up from my nap this morning and we was at 35.1K, girl. So we are on the climb, okay? Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. And this is why I tell you guys to make sure that your notification bell is set to all, because you don't know when the Black Holy Ghost is going to get my black ass up out the bed. It could be at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to come up here and to do what I do best, okay? Okay, we're going to knock Reckless down because he can yawn in peace, baby, okay? It is late, bitch, okay? But, yes, girl, okay? You never know when. We're going to come through with the come through. Okay. Also, you need to make sure that you share this stream out, honey. Okay. Share it out to your family, your friends, your church family, and all of that good jazz, girl. Okay. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push the hell on through. Oh,
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, it is 66 of y'all in the building right now, and it's only 32 thumbs up on this video, girl. We can get this up to 66, to be honest. Ain't even enough of y'all in here for this to be a struggle, honey. So can we go ahead and thumbs up this video? Thank ya. Reckless Logic, thank you for being here, darling. Clearly it's been a long day, and we are all night owls, girl. So that's why, girl, we be having to reschedule live streams and shit that we be having scheduled for 2 and 12 noon, girl, and then y'all don't see us until 48 hours later, girl, after the initial scheduling, child, because you know we just gonna be on that vampire life. But how you feeling before we get started with all of us?
I'm not in jail no more.
Did you end up thrashing your bushy back and forth across the prison walls too when you was there this morning, or did you turn off your homosexuality?
No, I almost felt like I had to fight. I felt like I almost had to fight prison trade, but no.
Okay, good, girl. Well, you know, it's a blessing when you don't look like what you went through. But I see that you got your church mother palm readers head attire on, girl. So
this bitch.
It's gonna be interesting energy, you guys. Now, before we get started, I need to talk about this whole nasty piece of remix, girl.
Yeah.
I don't know how much shit that Nicki Minaj had talked about this goddamn remix on her Queen Radio, because we will be reviewing that, especially if she popped all the way off and really got into it. But this was an ugly ass remix. Like, whatever that shit they did toward the end, where you didn't know if you had 2 damn windows open or 2 tabs open at the same time, all that damn echo, and it's like y'all tried way too hard to have a moment, and it was giving cute. But like that was just a really ugly. I mean, I ain't never heard a track sound ugly. Like music can sound bad, but it sounded ugly. Like it was ugly. And then like Kim verse sounded like some shit that honestly was copied and pasted in. Like when she first started off, it was cute, but then like the singing and all that shit, it didn't transition well into Megan's verse. Like it sounded real bootleg, real Fruit of the Loops, girl. Like. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't. And this is the thing, girl. Meg's album is actually motherfucking shitting right now, And it's clear that they like wanted this remix to live up to the hype, but them trying too hard is a big no for me.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, girl? What do you? Because Lil Kim is both me and your girl. How you feel about the execution?
It's a no.
Remix? Why?
No.
Tell us about it. Get into it.
It's a no because for one, the singing, it was a no. The singing is a no for me. Her singing, her still low key trying to hit towards the auto tune, but didn't do it. It's a no. Stick with the Little Kim deep voice, and actually, I would like the voice a little bit deeper, but it's a no for me. It was a no. And then, like you said, it sounded like it had two different browsers. That's why I was looking up. I was like, I thought you had two different screens up. And after some time, I caught on to what was going on. I was like, why the hell did you do that? And especially since this is Megan's record, I would be honest with you. Anybody, whoever verse I have on my record or whatever, I don't give a fuck if you're a legend or not. If the shit don't sound right, bitch, I'm gonna copy, paste, switch around, take some things out. I'm gonna mess with that verse until it actually looks cute. Or I'm gonna tell you to redo it.
Absolutely, girl.
And I feel like that should have been the case. Like the whole singing part, if anything, Megan could have came in and said it. Could have said something, could have did like,
and that's the thing. The singing didn't even sound good. It sounded like she was kind of cracking. It wasn't even like smooth. I'm just like, y'all didn't use no softener or no y'all didn't like crystallize her voice or whatever the fuck you be calling that damn engineering shit, girl. It's just like, like, did y'all do this in the back of a trap house, bitch? Like, I just need to understand what is the origin story, child. And you know, the promo is amazing. Like, I love this promo. It's giving very glamorous, like Queens of Hip Hop type tees, like first class Spirit Airlines, girl, luxury Spirit Airlines, non-coach section. I be wondering too when we be seeing like these promo images. Like, I wonder if like these be real photo shoots, or did they like copy and paste both their heads on some shit? Or like, do you think that they went on set and shot a photo shoot for the cover art for the single?
I believe
they have been seen together, so I assume that they probably have been.
They probably have, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like from like a club or something. They just did the background, honestly, because I feel like I've seen Kim actually performing that attire. So for some reason,
I feel like the poses. I mean, it's like the poses and like the lighting is very even across both. Like, it looked like they're in the same environment at the same time. But,
so yeah, they probably could have. They probably could have. But yeah, the song was a hell to the no. That was a no.
And they got Nicki Minaj out here looking, girl. It's like, okay, y'all know that the girls are looking to rip y'all apart. Come on, like, y'all know the critics are ready, set, go. Like, Kim, you can't afford to be missing these moments, girl. Like, you ain't even got nothing going on right now. Okay, like, you bouncing around the damn BET stage with Puff Daddy and these thigh-high ass implants, girl. That got you looking like an upside down ass baby mama aunt, girl. And you can't afford to be missing these moments, girl.
And the thing about it is, like,
you cannot be looking like a goddamn vegan aunt, Lil Kim, and then you be jumping on these damn tracks like this, child, and be fucking it up, girl. We the fans is highly disappointed.
And the other thing that gets me is that, like, I'm not even in the music industry, and maybe because I'm just listening, I can hear like different ways they could have rearranged that and really pulled it off. Like, instead of Kim actually singing, she could have sung that part, but they could have edited her voice, because you know, like how the people do that little extra high squeaky voice. It sounds like I want to say they call it a baby voice or whatever. They could have did something and make it real Looney Toony, or they could have made it extremely deep. Like, they could have played with that so it don't sound like what we actually got. And don't ever do that again, Kim. I love you dearly, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a no for me. The rapping, I can do that. The singing is not gonna happen, girl.
Yeah, that singing, it's like, Kim, You are not Adele. Okay. You are not Keisha Cole, baby. Like, just calm down, sugar. Okay, just calm it on down. Keep the singing for the shower. You know, sing to little baby Kim. You know,
And
for a
look,
nursery rhyme child. You know, you have an indoor singing voice, girl. You know, keep it in the privacy of
and
your
the thing,
mansion child, and
and the thing
just
that pisses me off is that like the more I think about it, I can literally hear the creative ideas on what they could have did with the song. Like you could have had Megan to, like in her flow, ba 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 ba, and then have Kim finish it off to rap with it. It's like I don't know the words. It's like ba 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 ba, and then Kim dun 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 dun. It could have been a back and forth type of thing. You could have. It's a lot of things they could have did with it. And y'all over here playing with the sounds, trying to do like I'm gonna assume like a back and forth, but it came off like you had your Pornhub and YouTube and StreamYard all together all at once. It was not working. No, it wasn't. Y'all really could have made a moment, make this like a back and forth type of thing. Like, girl, I just can't.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of history not being made. I'm sick of Nicki Minaj not being on the video set of Motorsport. I'm sick of the rap girls not coming together and having legendary moments and doing it for the culture. They so selfish, but look him. Like and you know the crazy part about it is look him still got it. But she's just not using it because nobody who actually matters around her is telling her the goddamn truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because the thing about it is that Auto Blanco, when she was on Auto Blanco, sickening. Play, do me a favor. Can you please play Auto Blanco? Sickening.
Girl, even though this ain't supposed to be about no goddamn Auto Blanco, but yes, we can play Auto Blanco.
Like sickening, deep voice, rapping.
Is this off the previous album?
Yes, 9. It's one of the very few songs I actually like. Auto Blanco, sound good. Bars. So she got it.
As y'all piling into the sanctuary, girl, struggling to roll out of bed, I need y'all to struggle a little bit more, girl, and hit that damn like button. This is Auto Blanco.
You just call me Blanco like the mob out here. We overseas, they like, how you get them Glocks out here? I got killers in different countries, you know, squad out here. Feed a lot of wolves, watch how you talk out here. Fuck Lil' Kim, that's all I hear is people talking evil. Fuck Lil' Kim, if you say that to bitch, I bet not see you. Fuck Lil' Kim, bitch, watch your mouth before they can ID you. Laid up and I see you where nobody can come see you. Why these bitches think they safe because I'm not out? You know any given time Kimmy could pop out. Every time I see this chick, they quick to cap out. I just got these hoes thinking that they got trap. Get your ass back in that house, we got no limit tanks. Master P dropped that shit off last night, we pullin' rank. Never tell them gangsters talk unless you bout that action. My trap record will tell you bitches I ain't just rap. This Dior coat is the only one, so we can't jack. I'm a masterpiece, right me on his arm like a busted patty. Niggas flexing on the gram, but they be broke. Smoking all them blunts for the one no smoke. Never care so much right now, my paper stacking up. I'm in my Louis bag, you hoes can pack it up. Y'all both got Nike and you out there adding up. But you say you keep it gangster, nigga, that's cap or what? Think about be alive right now if you niggas ain't got shit up. If I knew who did it, I personally wrap their caskets up. I'ma keep Frank name alive, my nigga ain't die for nothing. Got shooters out in Brooklyn ready to die for nothing. These rats run around in this junk, dying for nothing. Be careful, we got H out here, you lying for nothing.
We on our War You Fam shit, you heard? Think you come again. Gang, gang, gang. Shitting me.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah, like that Kim, but then I don't know who produced her. But Kim just be
that don't involve her ass singing works. Just don't
yeah, and in bars talking about fuck Lil' Kim, little bitch, watch your mouth before they can ID you. Laid up in ICU where nobody can come see you. Bars down. And don't get me wrong, even in the verse that she had, what was the name of the fucking song? You know, I'm over here lacking sleep, y'all. The song Plan B. she was even playing with the flows. If you actually hear the flow, she was actually doing like that flow that Nicki Minaj stole from her. The gets me like that whole little flow. She was playing with that and stuff. It's like, okay, cool. But when she started singing, I was like, girl,
Kim, if you gonna keep on doing this type of Plan B shit, don't wake me up when the morning comes. Make sure that I'm still asleep, bitch. If this is what you're gonna be putting out on the tracks, girl, make sure that I got ear muffins on and everything, girl. I'm good with still being asleep, girl. If this is what you're gonna be coming with. Nonetheless, child, we ain't here for that, but we will be adding Kim and 50 Cent to the goddamn docket on Friday's Hot Topic videos that I will be bringing to you guys later in this evening. And it is 444. Girl, I cannot make this up. When I was live earlier today, it was something. And I'm catching another triple damn digit. Girl, I'll tell you, bitch, the golden child type tease. Girl, let me get into what we're really here to get into a discussion about, girls. So let me preference the living hell out of this next segment, girl. Okay, we're here to get into Kwame Brown. Now, I like Kwame Brown.
I don't.
Okay, well, hold your horse. So, let me set the precedence over here. I like Kwame Brown when he first came onto the scene, and got popular and blew up on YouTube because of his beef with everybody in the damn industry, from Charlamagne the Goddess to Gilbert Albert and whoever the hell all these goddamn niggas is. He had a lot of attention around him, and it was really nice to see like a really humble guy speaking some real down to earth, practical shit, and I was living for the talking points and things he had in terms of how he defended himself against Charlamagne and the people that was coming for his neck, and his conversations around coding and all of that. So it was a great start. Okay. Somewhere along the line, Kwame Brown got, sucked into the drama and has kind of maintained his commitment there. Now, I have never interacted with Kwame's platform openly. I've always been in the bushes. I've never been in the live streams, and I've never hit the panels. But I've always, kept my eye out on him and checked him out every now and again. And he has also been over here quite a few times, especially last year when I was covering Larry Reed Live's lawsuit. And he would come and speak and everything and all of that. So, he see me, I see him, we see each other. So shout out to Kwame Brown. But I did notice, and I'm gonna have to be honest, and I'm not gonna hold back on this commentary because I just can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I went to Atlantic City for vacation, and I got high off of THC gummy bears, and they just turned me into a full-on thug, baby. I came back off vacation thugging, bitch, okay? So I'm just a thug now, okay? So I'm not able to dress it up and be political and all of that. I just hope that, when he hears this commentary, that he can just understand it's Imano to Imano, and it's me challenging his views on a subject. It's not personal. But there is an opportunity for dialogue, and there's an opportunity for discussion. And I want to have that and finally address that here. And so I noticed that after the momentum had died down on his channel, and some of these smaller, irrelevant people who were clout chasing attempted to start beefing with him for numbers, that his rhetoric toward the LGBT community started to change. And it went from him talking about having a queer cousin and a trans cousin, and being cool with gay people, and even thinking that gay people and gay men were more even gangster and more manly than some of the bitch ass heterosexual niggas that he knew. And then as he deepened his associations with Angela Staton and Judge Joe Brown. The language went from endearing to the gay agenda and all this talk about kids and children needing proximity, needing a lack of proximity from homosexuality, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I was like left alongside the rest of the community with like not knowing whether he was coming or going on the issue, because he would say all the things he would say. He would narrate homosexuality the way he would narrate it, but then like most straight folk who don't want to classify or label themselves as homophobic would always pull back on, but I'm not homophobic though, and I love and respect everybody. And I know that straight folk think that they can have their cake and eat it too as it relates to homosexuality, but they can't. You can't. Like any other issue, you got to pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. It's just really that simple, because when you don't, you're going to sound like a hypocritical, pussy popping mess on the issue. And people like me are going to be able to rip your talking points and your perspectives into absolute smithereens, because that's just what happens when you're taking a contradictory and hypocritical, selective perspective on any given issue. So we're going to get into it. And once again, I'm not here to really get into anything else other than this particular subject as it relates to Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown, if you're in the chat, you are more than welcome to hit the link. Matter of fact, let me drop the link in case you ain't got nothing else better. You know, you ain't got nothing else to do but to come up here and cuss two homosexuals out talking about you. You know, let me drop the link for you. You know, you ain't got nothing else better to do. So, you know, let me drop the link. You are more than welcome to come up here. You know, you're going to be treated with all respect, of course, because, you know, once again, I like Kwame Brown, but I'm going to have to tug on his goddamn hang time from them penitentiary braids a little bit on this issue. So hit the link, Kwame, and, you know, if we need to have a discussion, if you're open to having a discussion in the future about this, I'm totally down for that, because I think it could be amazing. You know, and it could be productive. Now, what led me to speak about this now, and I'm just going to refer to my description box. Professional NBA player Kwame Brown, now popular YouTuber, over the course of his stint of being a YouTuber, has had many conversations concerning homosexuality that has led many to question whether he's an ally or a foe to the community. Earlier in his YouTube career, he seemed to have respect and endearing comments about gay men, but as time passed and close associations with notable queer and transphobes like Angela Staton and Judge Joe Brown deepened, Kwame's language began to include the gay agenda and concerns about children's alleged proximity to queerness. In one of his most recent live streams, he addressed popular cartoon figure Peppa Pig and them introducing a lesbian couple into an episode. Kwame expressed disdain regarding the visibility of same gender-loving individuals being presented in children-themed content and opened up a panel for others to discuss their thoughts. And we're going to open ours and express our personal views the same. Let's get into it. Now, before we do that, I know you said that you don't like Kwame Brown Reckless, and I want to be clear. The views expressed by Reckless and any other panelists are not necessarily a reflection of the CTV network over here, okay? These are the individual personal opinions of said panelists. But without getting into the panel yet, what are just your initial thoughts on Kwame Brown?
Well, I was only joking when I said I didn't like him for real. But what I will say is this: is that for me personally, only because I understand the conditioning of the way that we're conditioned as melanated people within America, I always side eye. I'm always side eyed. I'm kind of guarded when it comes down to melanated men in particular, because we're all black. Melanated men, heterosexual melanated men, when it comes down to the whole homosexual queer community thing, because like you said, they like to have certain rhetoric, but then later on they flip it. I'm not homophobic. I'm not this, but yet you have different and subtle ways of being able to showcase your homophobia through the fear tactics, these false narratives and fear tactics of using the children and stuff. And so these are the things that I pay attention to in this. And also you aligned yourself with Angela Staton, who is a well-known transphobe, homophobe that uses the gays conveniently. Those are things I pay attention to. And so when I started to see his actions start to move, I was like, girl. And then on top of it, he started having certain people on. He had Angela Staton on. He also had Judge Joe Brown on there. I was like, yeah, you got them on there because you want them to possibly say, well, in the beginning, at the time when he wasn't saying too much, is that you had them on there talking for you, just so they can talk and you can just sit there and run the platform, but they're speaking for you. And the reason why I'm saying they're speaking for you is the reason because
it sounded like he was allowing himself to live vicariously through their homophobia and transphobia.
Yes, that's exactly what it seemed like. And so these are things I pay attention to, and I was like, and to my knowledge, and I could be wrong because I haven't really visited his platform like that. I believe that they have been on his platform multiple times. So it's not, and my thing is, yes, you can be with somebody, you can have somebody on your platform, y'all have completely different views. We have this on this platform all the time. But the thing is that if you say that you're quote unquote an ally, why didn't you challenge those views? Reason being is because on a subconscious, subtle level, if not expressed explicitly, y'all forgive me, y'all, I'm over here lacking sleep. If not expressed explicitly, you believe those statements to your core on some level. That's the reason why those things weren't challenged. That's the reason why you didn't even say, I don't believe that. I don't think that. You sat there and just said, okay, next person. Never challenged it, never debated it. Only thing that you would say is that I have a trans cousin. I have a gay uncle. I have a lesbian niece, like stuff like that. But keep in mind, too, you can be compartmentalized when it comes down to homophobia, transphobia, racism, etc. Like there are a plethora of white men that will literally fuck the living shit out of black women, but then yet call black men the N-word. There are a plethora of white women that literally have sex with black men and fetishize them, and then look at black women and think they're monkeys. There are plethora. And then on top of that, like, let's be very clear, like, us as queer people, we have people in our family that love us, will never disrespect us for the most part, but then go out there and disrespect other queer people and say all different types of slurs. And I think the thing that really
what I call exceptionalism.
And you know what really
people who make the exception oftentimes think because they are affirming and they love their gay cousin or their gay sister or their gay brother, that it means that they're not homophobic, but you make the exception for those queer people, but then go out and make sure that you have distance from other queer people or still maintain homophobic ideology as it relates to the overall community, while treating the queer person in front of you with respect. So yeah, they don't always go hand in hand. Like, it's called exceptionalism for a reason.
And you know, the thing that irks my soul, and it's just that they will literally do all of that and then look us in the face. The black community is not homophobic. What? Like, y'all don't hear yourselves when y'all speak? Like, y'all don't hear how you other queer people? You don't hear how you don't hear the fuck shit that's literally coming out of your mouth. I'm gonna stop right there because I know when the panel starts and we really get into the panel, then I'll proceed. Because it was a lot of fuck shit that they were saying. I was like, girl, you're contradicting yourself.
So speaking of fuck shit, this came out of the most recent panel he held, like as of I think yesterday. And toward the end of his commentary, he started talking about Peppa Pig, and I'm gonna put up an article just to bring you all up to speed with what's going on with Peppa Pig and LGBT-ness. Okay, and this article is courtesy of BBC.com. Okay, Peppa Pig, first same-sex couple for children show. Loved by preschool audiences in the UK, US, Australia, and Latin America, Peppa Pig is arguably one of the most recognizable and popular cartoon animals in the world. It is perhaps no wonder then that the program's decision to introduce its first same-sex couple has made waves. During an episode titled Families, which first aired on Tuesday on Channel 5 in the UK, where Peppa Pig is made, how do you pronounce that word, girl? It is late.
Yeah. I can't even see from here.
The character was introduced to friend Penny Polar Bear's mother, girl. While drawing a portrait of her family, Penny explained, quote, "I live with my mummy and my other mummy. One mummy is a doctor and one mummy cooks spaghetti." The program, created by British animators Mark Baker and Novelle Astley, has been running since 2004. This is the first time in its 18-year history a same-sex couple has been featured. It comes 2 years after a petition was created on a US-based website demanding a same-sex parent family on Peppa Pig. It has garnered almost 24,000 signatures. Quote, "Children watching Peppa Pig are at an impressionable age," the creators of the petition wrote. "Excluding same-sex families will teach them that only families with either a single parent or two parents of different sexes are normal." Robbie D. Santos, Director of Communications and External Affairs at LGBT rights charity Stonewall, described seeing a same-sex family in fictional Peppa Town as fantastic. Quote, "Many of those who watch the show will have two moms or two dads themselves, and it will mean a lot to parents and children that their experiences are also being represented on such an iconic children's program," he told the BBC. Peppa Pig is by no means the first children's program to feature same-sex couples. U.S. cartoon author aimed at 4 to 8 years old won praise back in 2019 after it showed a gay wedding during its 22nd series. At the time, Mary Vera Whelan of PBS Kids, where author ran until it ended earlier this year, said in a statement PBS believed it was important to represent the wide array of adults in the lives of children. Other popular cartoons that have touched on LGBT relationships have included Adventure Time and Steven Universe. Both are also from the US but aimed at audiences aged 10 and above. Following the latest episode of Peppa Pig, Twitter was alive with debate about the introduction of Penny Polar Bear's family. Lesbians and Peppa Pig can't kid shows just be for kids? One man wrote, accusing the show of box ticking. Another disagreed, saying, "Well, what do you know? My kid saw the first same-sex couple on Peppa Pig and the world didn't end." Okay, so Kwame Brown conversation evolved from there. Okay, he opened up his panel and there was a discussion. Now, me and you are going to get into our thoughts, and then we're going to bring up anybody who wants to come up and give their commentary. I'm gonna let you go first because I'm going to sound all the way off and probably leave nothing on the plate.
And I might jump right back in. It's really irritating to me. Okay, because I'm over here low-key waking back up. It's really irritating to me when you literally watch a panel full of full-fledged adults that are not fully educated on certain experiences, and they are so quick to jump to conclusions when it comes down to Peppa Pig. I think it's quite interesting how parents will literally sit up there and talk about how they don't want homosexuality taught to their children, but yet they will be the first ones to throw their children inside of a church or put their children around doctrine or philosophy ideas that teaches them homophobia at a very young age, but yet you have a problem with someone knowing of, not even partaking or participating in, knowing about homosexuality, which means they're just trying to humanize a complete marginalized group that's been completely dehumanized throughout the centuries and the generations. I think it's very interesting how we literally have parents, and on that particular panel, we have parents that literally Miss Angela Staton that has a trans daughter and is spitting out I'm not gonna say self-hate, but rhetoric that's dangerous to your own trans daughter. And then not only that, you have trans friends like Shauna Brooks and a T.S. Madison, and you're spitting out this rhetoric that's completely dangerous to your friends and your daughter. But then as soon as something happened to anybody, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But yet you're sitting up here contributing to the language that a lot of trans women hear when there's a bullet in between their eyebrows. That's very interesting to me. What's also very interesting on that particular panel, there was also another woman. Her name was Miss MS. I don't know what her full name was. She said that she was a teacher. This is the reason why y'all really irk my soul, because y'all really like to get in front of queer people and play dumb and act stupid. Literally on the panel, she was talking about her experience talking to like a little boy or whatever in her classroom, and apparently the little boy had an MP3 device, whatever, and on the device, I guess he was like 14 years old in middle school. He was supposed to be in high school, but he was in middle school. And the little boy, I guess, had some inappropriate images, videos, whatever on the phone, like on the device. And she's like having this big giant outrage, like, oh my God, why would you? Oh my God, oh my God. And so the first thing that popped in my head, it was like, I really don't know why you guys are shocked about a 14-year-old trying to have access to Pornhub or knowing anything about sexual orientation, because they hit puberty around 9 years old to 14. That's the age they hit puberty. Like, I'm confused why the hell you think it's like so like this far-fetched thing that a 14-year-old knows something about orientation. And I also think it's very interesting as well is that this is another reason why y'all, when y'all get into y'all start to be in front of us, queer people, y'all start to act stupid, because when we start to have conversations with a lot of times the men, and every single time I ask them, when did you lose your virginity? 12, 11, 9. The same way when I had my panel with Zaya Wade. No, the children. And I asked Pete, and I asked the men on the panel, when did you have your first kiss? 8. When did you have your first kiss? 7. Zaya's 12. Now shut up and let's move on. Y'all really sit in our faces and y'all really try to play in our faces and really try to demonize sex. But then again, y'all are the same ones that literally was teaching and having sex ed, showing penises and vagina to children. Can y'all please make all of this make sense? Y'all talk about, have these talking points, talking about procreation, and then have these talking points of why the men are not in the household, not even realizing that you keep going back to the issue. The issue is your ass. The issue is that, bitch, you're not in the home. And then on top of that, like, you do understand that knowing about homosexuality doesn't mean that you want to participate in it. It doesn't mean that. It means that when you go out in the world, you're going to see queer children. You're going to see queer people. And you know what that means? You teach your children respect. But since I don't expect a lot of respect from a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all ignorant as hell too, so your children going to be just like your ugly asses. You can go. Another thing too. My bad. My fault. Because I'm over here lacking sleep. Another thing too. On that particular panel, people were literally conflating, and this is the reason why a lot of people should not open their mouths to speak on any type of issues when it comes down to dealing with people and behavior, is because these people will sit up here talk about how they're intellectuals, and these people may be professors, scholars, philosophers, and consciousness experience, art teachers, but yet they have a hard time keeping context in conversations of sex, sexuality, gender, and gender expression. And then be the first ones, I want to teach my kids this, but yet when you actually talk about it and explain these concepts yourself, you can't even make a distinction. So how can we expect you to explain something to your child that you don't even understand
Nor want to.
or want to? A lot of conflation was going. They was conflating children being sexually assaulted to are being R. Kelly'd and sexual orientation. You're conflating.
Let me jump in here. Let me jump in here. Because Angela Staton had joined the discussion as well, and there was a lot of talk from her and other female panelists on Mr. Brown's panel who kept talking about the children and protecting the children. I just find it so fascinating that people are against children being introduced to sexuality of any kind. But the truth is, no, you're not. Because romantic children couples have been since the beginning of fucking time with no rejection from the hetero community. Whether it was the romance of Homer and Marge Simpson, Jasmine and Aladdin, Romeo and Juliet, Fred and Wilma, Betty and Barney from the Flintstones, George and Jane from the Jetsons, the Joker and Harley Quinn, Cyclops and Jean Grey from X-Men, Clark Kent and Lois Lane of Superman, Peter Parker and Mary Jane of Spider-Man, Cosmo and Wanda from Very Odd Parents, Pocahontas and the Colonizer, Cleveland Brown and Donna Tubbs from the Cleveland Show. The list goes on and freaking on. So stop with the freaking, I don't want to see no sexuality in children content including heterosexuals, because that's actually all in fact it's been, with no word nor outrage from any of you hetero niggas. Then y'all conflate same gender loving couples and individuals with displaying sexuality. When y'all identify yourselves as heterosexual, that doesn't mean you're displaying sexualness, right? Because what you're referencing is your orientation. You're not shaking your titties around and dick slinging your meat in your pants. So while when homosexuality come up, y'all reduce it to a display of sexualness. Y'all do this because y'all refuse to see homosexual women and men as people, and it's reflected in y'all's talking points every time queer people come up in media, music, and educational systems. Y'all objectify same gender loving people and hypersexualize us, then take your self-spun narratives and use them to double down on LGBT folk to keep them out of spaces and from receiving decent and fair treatment from their heterosexual counterparts. It's total whistleblowing and gaslighting for me. It's hypocritical that the term heterosexual doesn't imply you are displaying porn star-like behavior, yet when homosexuality comes up, that's all that y'all have in y'all mind's eye. Then you got Angela Staton, who comes onto the panel, and baby, I like to get real thuggy, talking about protecting the children.
Get into it.
Says the same motherfucker who did prison time for scamming money out of the lives of adults who had children to feed, and who scammed her way into prison, which led her to leave her own children behind to be cared for by other people, yet she cares so much about the freaking children. Then Angela had the nerve to say, while she was incarcerated, that she didn't have the opportunity to deal with whatever her children had been learning in the school system. Fuck the school system. What the hell did you think you was teaching their ass directly by running around committing white collar crimes and scamming and ending your funky ass up in the federal penitentiary? Do your delusional, deaf tone, out of touch ass really think that the subjects your children might have been taught in school was more detrimental to their psyche than what the fuck their mother directly demonstrated to them? Do you think a subject they might have been taught in school was more damaging to them than the absence of both their mother and father? And I don't want to hear no half-ass clapback by this mole-headed ass motherfucker about how her crimes were pardoned by a corrupted ass president. Because while Trump pardoned your ass out of prison, he's about to be heading there his damn self. So a corrupted motherfucker is going to excuse a corrupted motherfucker. And neither does being pardoned mean you're innocent. It means the contrary, actually. Since you can only be pardoned after doing 10 years of your sentence in tandem with admitting that you're guilty and take full responsibility for your actions. So please, do y'all notice, or is it just me, that a lot of these straight folk who care so much for children conveniently when it comes to homosexuality are people who don't even have relationship to their own kids, don't have custody of their own kids, who ain't taking care of their own kids, who got issues out of the ass with their baby mamas and baby fathers, but all of a sudden become superheroes for children at large on the subject of homosexuality. Miss me with the fucking bullshit. Everybody's culture deserves to be visible in this country because we are a melting pot of inclusion. Hence, home of the free and the motherfucking brave is the idea behind America. And as long as cultures, as it relates to children, are displaying aspects of their culture in ways that are child appropriate, it shouldn't matter if it's a different culture as long as it's presented appropriate to juvenile audiences. Y'all got kids going to school today learning world history of all kinds, got them learning how to speak French, Spanish, Chinese, shit that's not even native to them, and every other damn thing under the sun. But when it comes to LGBT culture, y'all want the buck to end there and then play in queer people's face with this whole I ain't homophobic shit. But then 15,000 buts are followed after that statement because y'all the type of racists who want to be racist but don't want to be labeled as racist. Make it make motherfucking sense. When LGBT folk need y'all to make them the damn exception, y'all don't. But every time there's an opportunity to demonize queer folk, y'all will make the exception for the community, despite y'all own community doing the very same shit every fucking day and every fucking hour. I don't trust no straight person to speak about the subject with true love, history, and integrity because y'all let us down every freaking time. Y'all sit in front of your favorite gay celebrities and content creators and shuck and jive, but then go into other spaces and sit with homo and transphobes and nod your heads in agreement when they're talking about homosexuality and transgenderism being a mental illness and a product of sexual assault, even though statistically the sexually abused represents a little less than half the LGBT community. So you still have to make it make sense why gay people who have never been sexually assaulted are still queer, like myself and Reckless and millions more. You have to make it make sense why all victims of sexual assault at the hands of the same sex didn't turn out gay or bisexual, since y'all would have the world believe that sexuality is contagious. And since y'all say it is contagious, y'all can't explain why LGBT folk who have lived in a heterosexual world their entire lives didn't successfully contract heterosexuality. And explain why you yourself still identify as straight despite there being gay content and people all over the media and openly in the community now? Or is it that only gay people can choose their sexuality but straight people can't? Because when y'all ask straight folk when did they choose to be straight, they say it wasn't a choice. But homosexuals always choose if you let them tell the narrative. If you ask any straight man if being surrounded by homosexuality would make him gay, he'd say no, because his sexuality is inherent to him. Yet they believe our orientation doesn't work this way when it comes to children and argue that they can be converted to a sexuality. Girl, it's the literal talking out of both sides of your fucking necks that heterosexuals do.
Well, since you here,
Yeah,
let me just
because I'm almost finished.
Okay. Because I feel good.
Do y'all actually listen to the shit that comes out of your mouth? Because as Reckless said, y'all have the nerve to be educators and be college educated and consider yourselves intellectuals, and then be dumb as all motherfucking hell. And last but not least, Kwame Brown. It's the associating yourself with myself and even co-signing Sean Davy Way, who's another same gender-loving content creator. And you co-signed him clearly only because he was going against one of 5 million of your arch nemesis on this damn platform, Tommy Sotomayor. When you played Sean dragging Tommy, you distinctively made it your business to say to your audience, see, I told y'all, we inclusive and don't care what anyone's sexuality is over here. Yet, you constantly do panels and streams about the subject and maintain one posture. And that is that queerness is wrong. And this is something that the hetero community has historically done to Black LGBTQIA folk, whether it be the church or the family, which is pimp out queer people for their craftiness, talents, virtue, and the likes, while oppressing and rejecting queer people's actual humanity in the same breath. The same shit that colonizers did by allowing us to be cooks, babysitters, maids, architects, breastfeed they babies, chauffeurs, be baby mamas and baby daddies to their interracial children, while maintaining that we were animals and only had slave fucking value. So all I want to do is for y'all niggas to make it make sense. That's it, and that is all. It's to make it make sense.
They're not gonna make it make sense.
That's it. That's it.
They're not gonna make it make sense. And I think it's very interesting. Well, since we're already here, I might as well call out some names. That when it comes out to Kwame Brown, that it's very hypocritical because you say one thing, but your actions show something else. Another name I want to make sure that I call out, Mr. Information Man. If you are in the comments, you're another person that I'm referring to because you be the same one up here giving Conscious his 10s, all these things. But however, lucky for me, I be around in all of these spaces on different pages, minding my business, watching you guys be on panels, and you just about have different rhetoric when you go around certain people and be on certain panels. So like while you sitting up here in Conscious face saying that you respect him, you're doing a good job, and giving him his 10s, but yet you go into homophobes and transphobes alike environment, that all of a sudden you want to push this idea of a gay agenda and being emasculated, all these things, saying that queer people are mentally ill. Oh, you want to push all those things, but then want to come back with a different tone, act like you didn't say it, act like we didn't know you said it. Then I'm not homophobic. Black community's not homophobic. But you push the rhetoric of homophobia, which is false narratives to create what? Fear. The children. Meanwhile, you're sitting up here calling yourself an intellectual, but you're conflating pedophilia and sexual orientation. And I think it's very interesting because from what I've seen of Peppa Pig, is literally two parents sitting there. Two parents. Two lesbians, mommy and mommy, are literally sitting in chairs. What about that is sexual? What about that is pornographic and inappropriate? And another thing, and let's also talk about the pick-me's and let's also talk about the people that are in the sunken place when it comes down to queer people. Y'all also have to stop sexualizing yourselves and believe in the fuck shit that heterosexual people will literally narrates and tell you your experience, which is the same reason why, and I'm actually, let me take these ads down because I want to call out names. The same reason why Tag, you're literally sitting here, I'm assuming that you are, actually you did say you were queer. You're sitting up here talking about just keep sexual acts to adult activities.
Other than that, just tell them it's normal to love who you love, period, because sexual predators will play off in the community. I just want to know, like, where is the example of explicit sexual acts being introduced to kids about same gender lovingness? Like, where's the historical examples? Because what y'all do is consider the very conversation itself to be inappropriate. What y'all consider is the very subject itself to be inappropriate. No educational system is teaching homosexuality in any other context that they haven't been teaching heterosexuality and sex ed academia around the subject. So this whole talking point has literally been created by y'all fearmongers about something that isn't even the case to begin with. That isn't even the case to begin with. So it's a mute point.
It's not conflating the P word. It's okay for daddy and daddy to give each other kisses and hugs. It's not okay for daddy to take their kids to any topless clubs. And the person said I was abused by the P word.
Hold on. Before you scoot there.
Mm-hmm. Please hit the link, because I didn't.
Y'all not gonna also use like these fringe examples, because we're talking generally about the attitude of society when it comes to the LGBTQ community. Because if y'all really want to get into it, tell these same grown ass hetero men and women to not take their fucking sons and daughters to fucking hooters and shit. Okay,
and the beach. Everybody asses out.
You take them to topless and nude beaches. You have whole nudists who have families and expose their children to nudity in a non-sexual context. So we're not even going to act like the body is a sexual object in and of itself, and then go to the extreme to sexualize it just to double down on homosexuality. And then also use that to distract from the fact that profound homophobia and transphobia exist in this community, even without those talking points.
It doesn't, because tag, you talking about hugging and holding hands and just chilling is one thing. Teaching them to stroke you is another. Who is teaching that?
Don't keep going in circles with nobody, because whatever type of merry-go-round she on, let her spin it and spin it well, because you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with a reprobate ass.
No. Because it's the fuck shit that really gets me. Because literally, no one said anything when children were literally being taught about sex ed. And let's just say the gay curriculums was actually teaching about sex. Let's just say that. No one said anything when you guys did it. So now what? Y'all was literally showing pictures of penises and vagina. So what happened? No one said anything when y'all was in the cartoons. No one said anything when you guys showcased and showed affection, and no one just assumed you was just fucking. Tag, you in a sunken place. I'm not even gonna do that. Get on the panel.
On the point that Rain Dance had just made, because you also had took notice of this woman on the panel who had talked about sending her son off or sending her daughter off to some event with a grown man, but then in the same breath, got in the ass of Trisha Morris, the mother of the two accusers of Tiffany Haddish, and act like she had committed some felony offense because she trusted somebody that she called a close friend with her child, while she turned around to send her own daughter off to some fucking event with some fucking body. And
exactly. So I'm like, once again, we get into different conversations and everybody act brand new. Like, I'm pretty sure there have been times, most, I'm gonna say most, if not all, there have been times you have trusted somebody to watch your kid. Especially if you're a single parent.
I'm about to block Tad, because you on your bald-headed hoe shit, and you're gonna be a single bitch on that bald-headed hoe shit. So goodbye, bitch. Sink and swim with the goddamn sharks and the fishes. You're done. Block Nation. Okay, go ahead.
She's just so fucking stupid. People are so damn stupid, and it makes no damn sense. You just as ignorant. Y'all ignorant as fuck, and then wonder why the kids be all fucked up. And tell them we must protect the kids. Yes, from your ignorant ass. Like, y'all do understand, like, when queer people are literally telling you guys, and this actually goes yellow pill, and I know you up in here. Same thing that happened on your panel. Literally get so wrapped up in these narratives that people hear about queer people, to the point to where when we were on Yellow Pill's panel and they was talking about homosexuality, one of the dudes was asking about homosexuality, but asking another heterosexual man instead of asking the two homosexuals in my Terry Joe voice, two homosexuals on the panel to talk for their experience. And that's the problem that happens, because we have a lot of heterosexual people who do not live the experience speaking for us and coming up with narratives and making assumptions at that. And that's why I said what I said in that panel. How can you sit up here and be talking about homosexuality, but you're not asking the homosexuals that should be experts in this area? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. That shit's stupid.
I'm about to drop the link for anybody who want to come up and add their thoughts about what we're talking about. We already got Zero manifested in the background. What's going on? The good love. Good morning, love.
Good morning. You know, I ain't sleep yet. I'm a night owl. I'll be up all night. Boy, I knew you was gonna go live again. I was waiting for it. I was like, I know CTV coming back. I feel it in my soul. So the big issue that I have is I don't like the way queer folk and the LGBTQ community is represented in the media. Period. Like the over sexualization, all those points you made. I was like, yes, thank you. Finally, someone's getting it. Because I sit back and I just watch things, and I'm like, this is not making sense to me. And anybody who's mad about a cartoon, are y'all serious? Like how you said before, Aladdin and all of that. Anybody who's mad about a cartoon because people are showing affection, something's wrong with you. Society as a whole is sick. You people are sick, and it's disgusting, and you over-sexualize everything. And I'm personally tired of it. I'm like, you, and then these people think that there's nothing wrong with them, like there's no problem. I'm like, there's an issue. There's something wrong with your mind. There's something wrong with your heart. You got some deep, dark, dirty desires, and you need to go to therapy or something and get it together, baby. You need to exorcism something, because something's wrong with these people. Because there's no way that we should be like doing just operating that way. Y'all not operating in love and compassion. You're operating from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, ego, bigotry. And yeah, it's absolutely, it's bigotry. And then when I'm looking at it, what it also is that there's a shadow side. You people are disgusting. And I'm talking about the society as a whole. They are disgusting, and they have a shadow side where they are nasty, dirty, and low down. And because so you want
to manifest it. I don't ever see this many panel discussions about all of the abuse that Lil Boosie has done to his children. I don't be seeing all these commitments to the R. Kelly and to the Bill Cosby, and I mean it. I don't be seeing these conversations dealt with. I don't be seeing heterosexuality in the context of sexual abuse get this much attention. They always go in on the LGBT community.
That's what I'm saying.
And then don't even have any notable examples. They just go into all these conspiracies about a fucking agenda and
I think somebody has a crush.
And about the school system attempting to make space for same gender loving parents and same gender loving people who also exist in those same academic arenas. Like, it's just like, what? So I'm just trying to make it make sense how
I think they got a crush, baby.
I'm trying to make it make sense how I can say I'm not homophobic and transphobic. I just don't want y'all in school. I just don't want y'all raising children. I just don't want y'all on TV. I just don't want y'all openly in the community. But live your life. Bitch, what the fuck?
But they always want y'all. They always want somebody that's trans or gay or whatever to come around and kiki with. Y'all are
because
like,
they look at us as only fucking entertainment, and which is so fucking. That's another reason why this should be irritating me, because it's literally history repeating itself. Like, this is exactly what the fuck they did with our entertainers. Like Eddie Murphy, I believe Eddie Murphy was the one that told this story where a white man called him the N-word, called him a nigga, And but then when the white man realized who he was, I was like, oh shit, that's Eddie Murphy. So you quickly went from the N-word to Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
And y'all still up here making exceptions, doing a lot of shit that you didn't learn from the goddamn white man. And they want to. That's the shit that gets me.
I'm tired of it.
Y'all literally sit on a pedestal and talk about, and y'all really sit on a pedestal and try to have complex, nuanced conversations on a situation that you do not fully understand, on a situation that you don't have any type of depth to, and then try to talk with all of this knowingness.
And then you never have anybody in the community up there. Like, what's wrong with you people?
And then the ones that they do have up there are the ones are the pick-me's, the ones that's in the sunken place, just like Tag, the one that think that will always over-sexualize, but completely forgetting that a lot of times too, when it comes down to these cartoons, guess what? It's the adults that sexualize it. Because we don't say anything when the heterosexual parents in the cartoons get married. We don't say anything when the heterosexual parents show affection.
Exactly. I was watching a movie and the husband walked up to his wife and slapped her on the butt. If that was two gay men, they would have lost their mind. Bye. I'm tired of it.
But look at how they lost their mind over Empire.
So stupid. It's just so dumb to me.
Well, Dave was kind of more.
Oh, and not for nothing, the trans community and all that. I love that stuff. And I put a post on my Facebook about it, and everybody's like, everybody had an opinion. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? These people are creative. This is like a whole community and a whole subculture that's amazing, creative, and beautiful. I said, y'all out here doing it. And people need to recognize that creativity comes from everywhere and all walks of life. And I'm just like, you know what? Y'all can get left in the dust then. If you can't open up your mind, you can get left in the dust. Bye, because the world is changing, and you know what? It's going to be people like you that are going to help change it for the better.
And we got another panelist here. And
I'm gonna drop down. I love you, CTV.
Okay, Boo. I thank you for that, Boo. Amazing talking point. Angeli?
Yes,
is it Angeli?
Yes, can you hear me?
No, you sound very far away. And there's a lot of noise in your phone.
Now,
okay, you sound better. Yes, you sound better.
I'm a night owl as well. I'm getting my workout in.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know. Yes, I just wanted to let you know that I found your channel about 2 weeks ago. I watched one video. I immediately subscribed.
Okay,
I appreciate your content.
Thank
and
you.
As it relates to the conversation at hand, I came in about 20 minutes ago, but I already had thoughts about this. And the fact of the matter is, I'm an educator, right? And I can tell y'all firsthand that a cartoon ain't giving what these people are making it seem like. Okay, if your kids are over sexualized, it's because they're on Snapchat, they're on TikTok, they're on whatever else social media outlet that you allow them to be on. You don't have any filters, you don't have any time constrictions. They're all on the internet. They're on the web, in the dark web, in the dark TikTok, and wherever else, looking and seeing everything their little eyes shouldn't be looking at, right? And whose fault is that? You should monitor your kids. You don't get to let TV, music, or social media raise your children or child. You have to monitor that. So I think it's absolutely absurd to think that a cartoon is sexualizing or radicalizing or confusing or changing how your child was going to come out. However your child going to come out, it got to do with you. And that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Great talking points, Angela. Yeah.
And then on top, like, and here's the thing too, is like when I need for a lot of like, I don't know why they believe. Well, I do know why, because they just homophobic. like why they have this idea of them actually knowing about the different types of people that's going to be in this world that they're going to interact with, that they're going to be in relations with, if they like it or not. People are going, different types of people from different walks of life are going to be in your classrooms, are going to be at your jobs, are going to be your customers, are going to be your boss. So sometimes you need to know different types of people so you know how to operate and know what's considered disrespectful and knowing what's considered to have proper etiquette when you meet somebody. And that's the problem that a lot of people who don't want to have a conversation are running into. They ask the question of how is that homophobic, but then when you tell them as to how, when you actually break it down to them how it's homophobic, I don't understand that. No, it's not. And then all of a sudden they reject it. So do you want to know how it's homophobic or not? Do you want to know how it's disrespectful or not? Do you want to know how the hell you acting a damn fool or not? Don't ask no goddamn question, but then at the same time reject the answer when I'm telling you and answering your damn question.
And this is very easy because if TV is making the kids gay, then
our gay ass.
Then when gay wasn't on TV, what made the kids gay? Because gay on TV is a recent phenomenon.
Get into it.
So how do you explain the gays of the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 10s, the on bag? How do you explain us? If TV is making the kids gay, then what made the kids and the generations of homosexuals, ascending 11 people that go as far back as y'all Qurans and Bibles go back. Queer people go back all the way to indigenous communities. So if we go back thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, how are you reducing homosexuality to modern day bullshit like TV and gay popular figures? It's literally such a barbaric, archaic, asinine ass perspective to have. Like, how it's not even, I can't even insult Hooked on Phonics by calling it Hooked on, because I would be insulting Hooked on Phonics. I would be insulting dumb. So I don't even know what's below dumb or what's even underneath stupid, because I feel like I don't even want to insult dumb by saying it's dumb. But it's like the midget mindedness about the issue is absolutely incredibly insane. And it's just like, you know what? And it's one thing, like, I understand mayonnaise people, like mayonnaise folk are just here to colonize and dominate. That's just what their history bears out. I'd be shook when our own black and brown people have the audacity to weaponize the same religion that had massa butt breaking their motherfucking asses in the front yards, that had massa rapinging our women and lynching our children, that the same community will weaponize a book against another community that was handed to them in order to deflect from the psychological and sexual warfare that was being committed against their bodies and their consciousness. Like, it's like Black people are literally in the fucking sunken place. Like, in the fucking place. And I have so much compassion for our people because I understand the history, but understanding does not lead to acceptance and tolerance. Like, because I understand it, I gotta stay on your fucking neck and stay on your heads about it to wake you up, because y'all are in the fucking sunken place. Y'all are in the sunken place.
Very sunken. Down below, submarine. And you know what's crazy? Because someone else has said that someone else has said something on the panel, something along the lines of, you know, these children are getting in contact with all of this porn and That's your job as a parent. I need for parents to come forth. Come forth. I need for all y'all toes to be at the line. It's nobody else's job. And I'm here to let you know. I'm here to give you the truth. It's nobody else's job.
I'm so sorry. Queen, I'm not talking. You missed the point, boo. It wasn't about whether they was out. We know they wasn't out because of the homophobia. I'm talking about the fact that we know historically and factually that queer people have existed before popular day, which is why your mom and your auntie and your grandparents can reference the gay people in their family and their queer uncle and queer brother, etc. I'm talking about the historical documentation of same-gender loving people and trans people on the entire planet found in your history books. I'm talking about all you have to do is pick up the 2,500-year-old manual that you call a Bible, and you can see same-gender loving people being referenced there. I'm talking about the fact that queer people have been around since the beginning of time, and modern American Western people are making the argument that TV and music and popularity of homosexuality is what's responsible for homosexuality, as if that argument works as it relates to queer people being here alongside heterosexuality since the very beginning of fucking time. The argument doesn't work. It makes no fucking sense. And my point still is, if dumb people are going to be using that argument to explain the gay now, what is the explanation for the gay prior to the Lil Nas X era, prior to the Wanda Sykes era, prior to the Drag Race era, prior to whatever the fucking pop culture references are that straight folk go to explain why the shit is happening now? What is the reason why queer people have been here since the beginning of fucking time? Why? You know why? Because that's the way nature would have it be. Move the fuck around, homophobes. Move around. Move the fuck around.
And the thing that's crazy is that they talk about it's not natural, but this the reason why I know you hoes are so biased is because it's in nature as well. It's in nature. And let me go back to finishing my point. My point was, parents, I need for y'all to come toe the line. I need for y'all to understand this. It's nobody's job to look after your kids. It's nobody else's job to monitor things that your child gets into. Just because children are in the world, that does not mean Pornhub does not exist. Just because children are in the world, that does not mean strip clubs don't exist. Just because children are in the world, that does not mean adult content and adult activities stop. The world does not revolve around children as much as we literally try to push that narrative. It does not revolve around children, because guess what? If the world revolved around children, we wouldn't be in a capitalistic system that uses labor from children. If the world revolved around children, we wouldn't have a history of completely disrespecting and exploiting children. If the world revolved around children, when your children are actually in the household telling you their experiences, you listen to them. If it revolved around children. The same way how Angela Staton, when your trans daughter was telling you about her trans identity and experience, you completely ignored it. But it's all about the children. Kwame Brown, whatever the fuck his name is, or people or the like. If it was all about the children and Jay Lethal, you have access to your children and being able to communicate and operate effectively in this world. But however, we all understand that this particular word irks my soul and it makes my skin crawl because I feel like people just throw it out there. Accountability. Oh, Jesus, it makes my skin crawl because people just throw it out there. When it comes down to accountability, y'all, we understand you're not going to take accountability because we also know it's always going to be the white man. It's always going to be the black woman. It's always going to be the trans women. It's always going to be the gays, the bisexuals, the gay agenda, the being broken, all these things, and the single parent households. But I need for every single time y'all say it, every single time you guys give a reason why, just know it always leads back to you and your logic. You're not in the household. Why is my son gay? If I was in the household, he wouldn't be gay. You see how that goes back to you if we're using your logic? Oh my God, how is my daughter? She's trans. I feel like if I was in a household, you see how that goes right back to you? Oh my God, my child was in a single parent household with always around women. Now
So was Angela Stanton's mother? So was Angela Stanton's mother a white collar crime committing heathen?
Oh, I have no clue.
Is that generational?
Good, I have no clue. I have no clue at all.
I'm just trying to make it make sense.
And like,
make it make sense.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense to me because like they will literally sit in our faces and act like a lot of different conversations that I'm being the blinds for. And this is another reason why, because I'm prepared. Anything that I state, I actually can prove. By the way, I'm talking to you, Mr. Information Man. So a lot of times too, this is the reason why I have to have proof when I'm talking to y'all. Because I'm just kind of waiting on the moment. I'm not homophobic. I never said those things. Don't worry, I'll give you 5 minutes. I got you. Let me pull the clip up. I screen recorded it. Now, under copyright infringement of fair use, and then I'll play the clip. Because y'all like to sit in our face and act like y'all didn't say something. Y'all like to sit in our face. Oh, I love you, Conscious. Next thing you know, bitch, he go back over there with them goddamn homophobes, spreading this false narrative about the gay agenda, and then have the nerve to call yourself information man, but you're not retaining information. And then on top of that, y'all are scholars. Y'all self-proclaimed scholars and probably have the credentials to match.
All I want Kwame Brown do is to pick a side. He got 400 something plus thousand subscribers, and right in defense, he's too old for it. Like, just pick a fucking side, because it's ridiculous to say all the homophobic shit and to let all these folk come up here with all they fucking fear mongering and ignorance and all they fucking GED education and intellect, and then your safety net is, but I'm not homophobic and I got a trans cousin. Okay. So the next time a racist is like, you know what? I don't want you niggers marrying my daughter, nor in my neighborhoods, nor having access to weapons, nor on my workplace or on my property. But hey, Black lives does matter. It's like, it's so funny that homophobes, like, y'all want us to excuse homophobia in ways y'all don't excuse any isolated and directed hate against y'all.
No shade.
Like if Carrie Underwood or what's another popular mayonnaise person? What's another
Adele.
popular person?
Adele.
Yeah, if Adele or Carrie Underwood or anybody else, would have come out here and talk about how, they didn't think that Black was natural and they didn't feel comfortable with Black people raising children and being school teachers, and then double down on saying, but we not racist, would never be acceptable. It sounds preposterous, but yet dominant society expects queer people to be able to accept just that. The double talk, the backhanded talk, the hypocritical talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make sense.
They can.
Y'all want queer people to make excuses and to pacify their oppressor and oppressive language and oppressive ideology, but absolutely want prosecution and penalization for the same oppressive ideology of Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like,
and then here's another thing too, because right now I'm kind of in that mode.
Hold on, because I'm with it too.
Tag me in, bitch.
And I'm wide awake.
Mm-hmm, me too. Mm-hmm.
My whole issue is, it's actually easier to admit that you're just homophobic, because y'all sound crazier not admitting it. The level of pussy popping y'all have to do to make y'all dual citizenship make sense is so nutty that I can't even believe a sophomore education has literally taken place. There's no fucking way. If any of these people are college graduates, girl, Y'all ran that shit off with a Xerox machine. Baby, y'all done plagiarized. Y'all done signed over on sister's birth certificate, girl. It's been some frauding, bitch, because it ain't no way in the hell. The level of pussy popping that dishonest homophobes and transphobes have to make, I mean, the level of dishonesty that they suffer from and the level of pussy popping they have to do to make their rhetoric make sense is crazy. Maybe if you actually were to just say, you know what? I don't want you people here. And I don't like you people. And I think you people are weird, and I think y'all are fucking freaks.
And I
don't want my children growing up to be like y'all, and I don't want to live in communities with y'all. That from there, at least a honest disposition can take place. Because you know what? I am personally not interested in living in a managed society. I'm actually okay with segregation. I'm actually okay with people living in communities that represent a reflection of their morals and their philosophies. I'm okay with my fucking water fountain being over here and yours being over there. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. And if you were to admit that, you know what, be honest about your feelings, either two things are going to happen. You're going to commit to the straight and narrow bullshit that you can't commit to, and nobody will be able to call you to the stand other than saying, hey, you probably need to grow the fuck up, but at least you're not a fucking hypocrite, and at least you're not pandering, and at least you're not being manipulative, and at least you're not being fucking selective, and you're actually having integrity as a fucking homophobe because you have an honest disposition. Or what's going to happen is, because you take an honest look at yourself and you're willing to admit to the 4K HD truth, you might actually finally be able to deal with your internalized trans and homophobia and then make some strides toward enlightenment. This is why it's always best to be honest, because honesty is either going to change you or leave you to be a integral asshole. And I'm okay with either one of those options. But what I'm not okay with is the motherfucking middle. What I'm not okay with is the motherfucking confusion, bitch. What confusion is the fence riding. That's the confusion. And where the mental illness is the motherfucking fence riding is where the motherfucking mental illnesses are.
Get into it.
Okay? That's where the freak shit is in the fence riding of it all. And why grown ass men and women cannot simply just be honest, be truly honest with themselves, I don't motherfucking know. But I'm waiting for the motherfucker who's ballsy enough to really call it for what it is. And to say, fuck all this politically correct shit. I ain't about to dress my views up in no kind of motherfucking way. It is what the fuck it is. It is what the fuck it is.
And you know the crazy thing about that? The crazy thing about it is that it's just interesting to me that these will be the same people that's like laid out on the street, taking the last couple breaths, and they want people to march for them. They want people to protest for them. And keep in mind, a lot of times too, most of the time, it's usually melanated women and queer people who start these organizations and movements. So you want to abuse, you want to use your whip, disrespect us, kick us out from being melanated. And then not only that, then when you're in distress, you want all bodies to come forth. And you're black first. And this is another reason why I'm going to say, and I know it's probably going to be a little triggering if you don't understand it. If it goes over your head, it is what it is. This is what I mean when I literally see other queer people be too pro-black. As in, you identify with being pro-black to the point you completely forget about your other intersections, and you also forget that yes, we may be melanated, but yes, we also have to know the melanated community has their own biases. That's the reason why, yes, you are black, but however, you're a black woman, so you're gonna be treated like a woman and treated accordingly. Yes, you are black, but you're a black queer person and you're queer, so we're gonna treat you accordingly. All that fuck shit y'all keep talking about oh, we're black, we're black first. Y'all can all miss me with that bullshit, because the thing about it, y'all always like to talk about we're black, and when we come to these conversations, we're trying to have a black conversation. Then when queer people come to these conversations trying to have a real life conversation about being melanated, y'all talk about the sexuality. Am I lying, Conscious? But didn't you have an experience like that multiple times?
I've been through it, and one community can tell y'all. One community is one of my ushers here, and we was on a panel earlier this year or last year, whenever the fuck it was, and we was having a black conversation and talking about the dynamics between black men and black women, and I'm up there being a black man in the black community in a black ass conversation, and one of the ignorant simps on the platform just couldn't take the fact that I was slaying that fucking conversation. And was like, I'm not gonna listen to a gay man. What? Gay ain't even been a subject yet. And you've been sitting here boiling over, fixating over whether I'm even gay. I haven't even identified myself as a same gender loving man, and I didn't identify myself because it's not even relevant to the conversation that we're having. So yet, to Reckless's point, y'all want black gay people to realize that they're black first, and then y'all want to remind us that we're fucking gay, and that disqualifies us from the black fucking experience. But then if we lead with our sexuality, then you also use that to fucking disqualify gay black people from the goddamn table. So there's no fucking winning left or to the motherfucking right, because it's you niggas who are fucking obsessed with sexuality and black male sexuality specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I don't know whether look, y'all got a right to say all the things y'all want to say in the comment section. I don't know whether Kwame Brown is gay or straight. Bisexual or pan or whatever y'all saying down there. He identifies as a straight man, and it wouldn't make it no different if he was gay or straight, because either way his orientation would be set up, I still need him to pick a fucking side. His orientation is irrelevant. The not, because to Reckless's point, if you are an ally and then you never are the actual one challenging the narratives around queerness, and you agree with most of the problematic rhetoric about LGBT folk, but because you are a public figure and you don't want to get swallowed up in cancel culture, and you don't want to get swallowed up in missing out on any deals and any of that, and you don't want to miss a bag, then you reel it in after you've indirectly and directly participated in all of that oppressive shit with I'm not gay. And I get it, but once again, that's like the intellectual dishonesty that I'm talking about. And that's the fence riding that is so bullshit. Like, you want to be revolutionary? Be fucking revolutionary and pick a side. And Muslim put up a great fucking quote by Malcolm X, who said, I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong, than the one who comes up like an angel and is nothing but a damn devil. Just be integral enough to just choose your side, because we all know what the side is. We hear it over and over and over again. The only person face you're really playing in is your own. And then Cocaine said that if there was anyone out of the two, Angela Staton or Kwame Brown, to do that, it would be Angela. But she don't do that fucking either, because she says all the crazy, wild, explicit, homophobic, transphobic shit she does. And she's another one who also likes to pull it back. But I respect all folks, and folks should be able to live how they want to live. None of them are honest enough to carry that fucking cross, because they're all willing to idolize money and an opportunity, the possibility of future opportunities in the business, rather than to be integral enough to do what real leaders do, which is to double down on their stances And this is the difference between so-called new civil rights leaders, if you even want to call anybody that today, and the leaders of yesteryear who put their shit on the line, who put their actual lives on the line because they picked a side, picked the motherfucking side.
Come on, Nikki.
They didn't tether and ride these fucking fences. They put their very fucking lives, and it costed them their very fucking lives. So I don't have an issue, really. My issue is the fence riding.
No, sure.
And don't think that people don't see you.
We see you.
Or a Kwame. And it's really sad that both of these black folk they have some type of access and some level of visibility on them. And it's just sad that all of the potential that can be had with all of that is smothered out by all of this divisiveness. But it's us who need to remember that we're black first. No, motherfuckers, how about y'all remember that we're fucking black first?
Especially
if y'all did, y'all would put down the divisiveness. If y'all allowed yourselves to honor our blackness.
And the thing that's very crazy is that they'll be the first ones to demonize it, and then talk about how trans people and all these different things, gay agenda. And this was I was actually talking about as well, and this is another reason why we have a lot of queer people in the sunken pace, is because this is the rhetoric that we're fed. This is the rhetoric. Gay agenda, breaking up the nuclear family. We want to replace black women. Which you keep in mind too, that's a dog whistle within itself, because what that is, that's basically under through the lens of a patriarchal system that makes women compete for men. So we're going to quote unquote replace black women. Then you're talking about we have a gay agenda trying to emasculate the black man, trying to buck break everybody, population control. Like, this is the shit that we're fucking taught. And now you're mad and confused and wondering why DL culture exists. What sense does that make? And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's the reason why I really don't be caring when women end up in situations when they end up with a DL man. You want to part? Well, I'm gonna say I feel bad for the ones that are truly allies, but however, I really don't really giving a fuck for real, because if you want to participate in homophobia and transphobia, then guess what? That comes along with it. You can't tell nobody to be themselves, but then participate in systems, power systems, social forces that doesn't allow people to be themselves. And it makes people lie. People will lie to preserve themselves. That's natural. Self-preservation.
And this is why we call it hetero supremacy. It's like, because hetero supremacy does not consider the fact that other people exist as well. Queer people are queer children as well as queer adults as well. The world isn't just about y'all. The table just isn't for y'all to sit at. The plate ain't just got y'all's name on it. Queer folk are here. Queer children are here. Queer teenagers are here. Queer adults are here and have been here. The world don't belong to y'all. And that's why queer people are just having to take it by motherfucking storm. And it's honestly the same thing that us as black folk are going to have to do as well. The space in the world just don't fucking belong to mayonnaise folk. We're going to have to also seize this motherfucker by force as well.
And that, I'm glad you said that, because when I said, and this be the nerve of niggas, and I'm going to say this be the nerve of niggas, when they literally would say things like, well, the gay community only makes up less than 2% or 5%, whatever percentage they throw out there, of the population. We shouldn't care about them. Bitch, melanated people only make up less than, it's probably elevated a little bit, I'm going to say less than 18%, 15% of the population. What the hell are you talking about? What does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Because the same that's the same logic Master did to y'all black asses. That sounds stupid. Ooh, these motherfuckers, they be so smart. Oh my god.
And a Muslim has to quote. Muslim has to quote another fitting quote. The place in which I'll fit in does not exist until I make it. You have to decide who you are and force the world to deal with you, not with this idea of you. James Baldwin. That's on period. Yeah. Period. And it's just like, and don't think that I don't notice that there's a lot of jealousy that our black community has for the LGBT community, because the black community feels like the LGBT community has made certain strides, and has gotten certain access, when, for one, that only pertains to white LGBT, not black LGBT community that has made those strides and gotten access. But I keep telling our people, we don't have to be jealous of LGBT folk. And it's crazy that me and you, Reckless, have to speak in this dual nature, because we're both same gender loving and we're simply black all at the same time. But like, we as black people don't have to be jealous, because all they're doing is what the fuck I've been saying we gonna have to do, which is seize it by storm. You have to seize it by force. All LGBT folk did to get any little bit of progress they did is double down in their efforts. They took no shit, made no excuses for nothing, called it all out. They gave motherfuckers PTSD to even speak against LGBT folk. That's how much pressure was on the goddamn necks and applied to the necks of dominant society. If we as black folks want to get any fucking where, we're gonna have to shut the fuck up and become the fucking pressure and stay the goddamn pressure. Create induce trauma into dominant motherfucking society. Induce trauma into mayonnaise fucking society. Double down on these institutions. Double down on your spending. Double down on calling every motherfucking instance of anti-blackness and racism completely the fuck out. Let there be severe consequences and fucking repercussions to the disrespect against black fucking folk. That's what's going to fucking happen. That's literally all that LGBT folk, white LGBT folk, did.
They don't want that to happen. They don't want to get rid of white supremacy. They want to have access to it. Duh. That's the problem, because when it comes down to situations when they're supposed to be speaking out, when they're supposed to be taking a stand, when they're supposed to actually be standing up and being the protector, instead of them protecting their own, what they decide to do, because they some scary pussy ass bitches, they decide to do a complete 180 and want to either correct the woman or shit on queer people. You don't want to get rid of white supremacy. You don't want to overturn this system. You want to have access to it. You want the whip and the hat. You're over there looking like Indiana Jones. Bitch. That's it.
There it is, honey. Straight to the motherfucking point. Once again, outside of them talking points, baby, because I told y'all, my trip to God over my vacation, I woke up with righteous violence in me. Okay? Righteous violence, honey. I woke up a thug. Okay? So
I know I'm a thug. I was in jail.
I don't watch him enough to know everything that he gets into over there on the channel. Like I said, he has frequent over here, and I don't even give a damn. I got enough shit that I'm focused on outside of this shit, but I just happened to catch today's live stream, and I was like, you know what? I've been observing this pattern with Kwame for a long time now, and I was just gonna let it be what it be. But I'm just like, yeah, I really don't get it, and I would like to, and I think it's time to cut the bullshit, and it's time for us to do more bridging as black folk than not. I'm sick of this whole homosexuality ain't fucking, that ain't what black people do. Black people doing it. It's fucking black. It's black now. It's always been black. It's black, bitch. Whenever a black person do anything, it's now motherfucking black. It's what we do. If I choose to not season my food, that's now what black folk do. It's not season a food. If I choose to give up fried chicken and soul food because I don't want my cholesterol helping me to bust hell wide open, it's now what the fuck black folk do, which is eat healthy. If I start to fucking do yoga, that's now what the fuck black people do. If I dye my hair fucking blonde, that's now what the fuck black folk do. Whenever the fuck black people do it, baby, it's now a fucking black thing.
It's interesting and it's funny that black people have lost their motherfucking mind. They've lost their mind. Lord have mercy, girl.
So it is what it is. Kwame, the email is consciouztv@gmail.com. I have no problem coming to your chateau over on your side in the neck of the woods and having a conversation if you're interested. And I damn sure don't have a problem with you having a conversation and coming to our neck of the woods, because I would love to have the real conversation around the subject and blackness and sexuality and current and old history alike. Would love it. Would love it. Love it. Love it. This is not a Kwame hate page. This this ain't a Kwame whatever. I'm addressing a specific issue of interest as it relates to a dialogue that Kwame maintains on his platform, and I just want folk to make it make sense.
And the interesting thing about this is that I think it's very interesting, like especially when this is another word that irks my soul too, woke. Because a lot of people just throw the I'm woke, girl. Bye. What woke melanated people do, they say things like Africa is so creative, they're so elaborate, all these different types of colors, yada yada yada. But then when we start to get into the into the history of of sexuality, it was just so basic. How are we gonna be the motherland and create everything, and then we're not gonna be a creator of different sexual orientation?
Guess what? I want black people to understand how much they're gonna have to really own that sentiment that we birth every other nation. We birth every other ethnicity. That also means that mayonnaise folk is ours too. Okay? Mayonnaise folk are ours too. That means that everything that happens on this earth by all people essentially is an aspect and was birthed out of blackness.
Get into it.
If we're going with the motherland, black folk are the original Adam and Eves and gave birth to every other group, honey. It means that all of it is our intellectual property. So we can blame nothing simply on the Europeans alone, because all of it is some aspect of blackness. Let's stop the bullshit. These motherfuckers ain't ready for that level of conversation. So once again, just simply pick a side, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. It's really that simple. And yeah, we do be noticing how when a lot of y'all straight folk be wanting to have these conversations with queer folk, y'all always pick the flaming rose and the pick Mishas, and y'all always pick the queer people. The queer people in the second place who don't know how to defend their existence. Y'all pick the queer people who are also tone deaf as hell, have internalized homophobia and transphobia, and do not know how to hold up intellectually against any of you motherfuckers. So I'm looking for the bold motherfucker who gonna choose a real competitor to contend with.
I'm waiting.
Because it ain't no way that heavyweight boxers should be competing against lightweight. So I'm looking for the motherfucker who really feel that confident in their talking points and their homophobia and transphobia to pull up on a queer person who can actually defend their existence accordingly.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm willing to go on the other side. I'm willing to go to. We're willing to come to your side and have a conversation. We're willing to do that. We're willing to do that, and you can let as many people on the panel because you're probably gonna need all of them.
I don't even want any of them dumb assholes. I come over there. I want to talk to the man himself, or have the man himself come talk to me. I ain't got time to be, because see, all that's gonna be a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Need to talk to the head chief of the tribe. I'm only the way that I'm set up these days. I ain't wasting my time on the minions. I ain't wasting my time on the silly putty. I'm only qualified to talk to the chief Indian.
Come on, Chief Indian.
Only the chief Indian. Because, see, everybody else follows underneath the chief Indian. So, once you can get into the mothership, once you can address the mothership, all the other little ships fall into formation. So, them folk gonna hop up there with their education from the 80s and their education from the 60s and shit, and they outdated ass perspective. And ain't nobody about to go around in a goddamn circle with them. I can't take them conversations no more. I've outgrown them conversations. I done leveled up, baby. I done rolled over 10 times over.
Get into it.
When it comes to intellect and understanding and nuance on the subject. So when them folk, if this conversation hypothetically happened and them folk come up on the panel, I'm letting you know right now, I'm jumping down, and you can deal with them. Because I'm good. I'm good on that.
It always seems like it happens like that, because that's what happened last time. Told their asses up, girl.
Period. CTV is like, take me. Them the only niggas I'm talking to is the leaders of the pack. I ain't talking to none of the puppies. Take me to mother. Take me to father. That's it. But that's all I got. Much love to Kwame Brown. I think he's a great guy, and I'm looking for, and I mean it, like, I like Kwame Brown personally, but I gotta call it a thing. So liking anybody will not keep me from not addressing your ass when you on your bald headed hoe shit.
Well, to be completely honest, you shouldn't feel no type of way about you saying that, or even, you know, if it comes
about if
fake. No, I'm just saying if it comes off fake, because that's exactly what they do. They say all their homophobic rhetoric and then say they're not homophobic. So we said everything we said, and we love you, Kwame Brown.
I really don't give a damn how it's translated. Hopefully, it's translated as a productive. You know, it's translated productively, and a real conversation can be had.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, I said what the fuck I said, and it is what the fuck it is. Do you have any parting words before we tie this up?
Bye.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, girl. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up this video. This was improv and on the motherfucking spot, honey. Subscribe if you're new here. Shout out to everybody. And baby, I'll see y'all later on this Friday with an old nasty piece of hot topics, honey. And yes, God, you just never know. Let me also shout out my PayPal, my donators. I think I got some cash apples while I was alive, girl. While I was alive. Hold on. If you're new here, subscribe. Stacy Galora, who says, for Kwame is a wave rider, period. Oh my goodness. Jesus, Stacy, my God. And Kendra, who says, well, we'll catch the replay. Hope you are well. I am well, Kendra. Hope you are well as well. And thank you for y'all donated seeds. May God bless you all. I will see you guys a little later today. Make sure you guys subscribe over to Reckless Logic, honey, and follow Reckless as Strictly Reckless on Instagram, girl, because he gave an old nasty hot topics commentary over there on his Instagram. Do you want to shout out your stuff before we get out of here, Rick?
Yes. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the land of Reckless Logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please make sure you smack that notification bell so do not miss any more posts from us. But also while you guys are doing it, make sure you guys do that on my platform, Reckless Logic. Now, I will say that I'm a little bit more ratchet over there because, you know, it's my platform. So if anything happened, it's just me. I try to keep it tamed here because this is not my platform. And if something happened, I'm going to feel bad. So with that being said, y'all make sure you guys follow me at Reckless Logic with 2 C's. And also you can follow me on Instagram as Strictly Reckless. And with that, I also have a link tree. And from now on, I will also have my link tree link in all of my videos of my in the description box of all my videos and stuff. And when you click on that link, for those who do not know what that is, it's a particular link that shows all the different platforms that you are on. So yes, I have a Facebook, I have a TikTok, I have a Twitch, I have a what was the other ones? YouTube, Instagram, and I'm missing one, and a Bigo. So I have 6 different platforms that I'm working all at once, and I'm kind of in the groove right now. So with that being said, you guys make sure you follow because I will be going live tomorrow, and that's on period.
Well, are you talking about tomorrow's in Saturday or tomorrow's in today? Because
tomorrow as in today.
Got it. Okay. Oh, the girl hadn't got all in her booty hole in prison this morning, girl. She ain't been right in the head.
Did not stop.
Nonetheless, girl, love y'all and good morning. Bye.